Plant medicine is normally a gatekeeping process. So someone spiritually is appointed by the plant medicine, ayahuasca, shrooms, whatever the plant medicine is, peyote, changa, sananga. There's even those that you don't even know. You won't know them. Why? Because there's secrecy and spirituality, and throw in a dose of timing, all goes together. And when there's a plant medicine involved, the plant medicine chooses the guide, the facilitator. Not you choosing in your mental self to become a facilitator of a plant medicine that has nothing to do with your lineage working with it. I share this because it seems like here on planet Earth, ever since the boom in the West, everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, is just going on these ayahuasca experiences, and then they just casually say, no, the shaman, the shaman, the shaman. And when they give me the stories, they say, oh, Nathaniel, I met a shaman. They do this facilitation. And I'll sit back and I'll say, okay, did the plant medicine call this facilitator, this shaman that spent a few weeks in Peru and now suddenly they know? Did the plant medicine work, call, connect with this specific person? And furthermore, for those PhD masters and academics that are watching these videos, furthermore, is there evidence of that person's lineage? Someone being a healer specific to the plant medicine. Is there someone in that person's lineage, mom's side or dad's side, that worked with this plant medicine and knows the plant medicine intuitively in knowledge, not academically taught in the three-dimensional? So how you know this is a true facilitator of a plant medicine is down to very basic things. Number one, if it's meant to be that person who facilitates and is meant to work with that plant, the plant would have metaphysically connected with that individual and a calling would have happened to come into an understanding. Now, if the lineage, maternal or paternal, has already worked with this plant medicine, then there's knowledge there already. It's not that the person has to now suddenly go do a course. No. If that individual comes into their calling, they start learning how to be devoid of attachment in the body, and they get visions through meditation or through knowing. They will start knowing how to prepare the medicine without any teaching, any formal teaching. Why? Because the spirit would have provided the dosage, the amount, how to make this. Someone must be left in the forest. And if the facilitator is truly guided by their ancestors or their spirit guides who has evidence in their lineage of an inheritance of being this healer to work with plant medicine, then automatically, intuitively, they should know where to go, how the plant looks like, because they would have seen it in a vision. They would have been shown it in a dream. If that's not the case, and someone treated this like it's a Demlin certificate that you can get online, and then suddenly afterwards they're hosting facilitations of 5 people all at once, I say, yo, that's interesting. According to the ancestral traditions, you work one-on-one with a person. You don't do 5. 5 is a ridiculous approach to doing psychedelic work, spiritual work. You don't do 5 people, 1 facilitator. That makes no sense. But he who is not guided by the history, ancestrally, and has not been called by the plant, they start doing these group exercises. It's also fascinating that, let's use ayahuasca for example. Ayahuasca is a grandmother energy, feminine energy. Why would a feminine plant medicine call on a masculine conduit to be a facilitator when, again, if you go to the roots of how this plant medicine works there in South America, grandmothers facilitate ayahuasca. A woman facilitates ayahuasca, not a man. Not a man. A man, if it's in his ancestral calling, there's a history of it, and he gets a calling from the plant medicine, will work with the masculine plants, the peyotes, the mescalito. Mescalito will knock on your door and say, we must do work. And that comes through the meditation process, the initiation process. You get taught via spirit, not I go sit with someone and I write in my exam pad, oh, I must do this, and then I must do this, and then I pour so much. Spirit will tell you what to do. And you, if someone asks you, how do you know what to do? You say, I don't know what to do. I'm just following the instructions. The guides are telling me this is how much, this is how much. And if you say, yes, Nathaniel, my grandmother has a connection to this, my great-grandfather, then we know that there's an aid. And it will make sense why you as a female connected to the history of this plant and the loci of that plant, you will be the ones who facilitate. But if that plant medicine has nothing to do with your lineage and your lineage has nothing to do with that location, you can't just put a sticker on and say, I'm now a facilitator because I live there, I spend time there, and now I'm also called to do it. That don't work. Where there is a calling in your ancestry, there is a loci, and where the loci is, there is plant medicine. If no one worked in that ancestry linked to that, there's no pulse for you to come into that unless there is a calling. And if there's a calling, it's linked to what is meant for you. And like I said, if it's genuine, without needing to be taught, you will be taught through spiritual, intuitive means based on those who work with you. Because this is a real spiritual journey you go on with the plant medicine. The plant medicine works with you. You have no question in this. It chooses you. It uses you as a tool, especially as a facilitator. So it makes no sense to come from a place so far from this plant medicine origin and then call yourself a facilitator and then do bulk facilitations. You're only supposed to do one-on-one. When you choose a person to guide you, they work one-on-one with you. One-on-one is already a huge experience. 1 times 5, one shaman facilitating all of them. I don't know what do you guys think you're doing when you do these trips to go to those places. All I see is capitalism. Raping something so spiritual, so passed down, and just like it's putting its foot into something that it has no business with, and just now suddenly showing up, throwing so much advert. You're not even supposed to know those places exist. If anything, a plant medicine teacher should reject you more than accept you so casually. That's why I'm shocked to the core when I hear people say they are 1 of 5, 1 of 10 in a ceremony. I'm like, that. Where's the intimacy here? I know spirit to be intimate. Who's your teacher? And did this shaman explain to you that their great-grandmother, great-grandfather has a connection, their great-great-great, there's a calling, they had this experience, they can tell you, I didn't know what I was doing, but I did this. I took it and I didn't die, and therefore I know this is the right thing to do, you know? There's a unspoken conversation that happens in spirit with that facilitation role. But for it to be advertised like a business, it don't work like that. Because that's not aligning to timing and a calling. That's like, it's available, I can go. Plant medicine don't work like that. So I just thought, for those who are none the wiser, just be aware that, there's There's an information that gets neglected, and it's easy to just believe that someone's a shaman. Just like anyone can call themselves a comedian. Anyone can call themselves a DJ. Anyone can call themselves a social media influencer. But with spirituality, there's a calling, there's a conversation before you get involved that is designed that you're going to be this person. I am what I am, nah? I will never facilitate with those things. Why? No one in my lineage worked with it. I'm from South Africa. If there was anything I needed to work with, I would have a calling to work with it. It will call me and then I will be told how to work with it. But I can't go just because I'm spiritual. I see things. Now it makes me automatically a servant of something and now I must facilitate. It don't work like that. Keep this in mind when you go down this journey. I would wish for you to have a spiritual connection and an authentic one. Those who know what I'm talking about and have gone to those people where feminine energy links to the plant medicine, that's feminine, and that's the facilitator. There's a calling, that's the facilitator. Masculine energy is a facilitator of masculine plant medicine. That's the facilitator, through their calling, through the lineage verifying to them that this is your path. Learning intuitively, not learning in the 3-dimension. I just share this because I've noticed a little bit of a trend and I'm like, huh? I'm not judging, but a calling. A calling is how you know someone is meant to work with that plant medicine. Just yours to keep.